Okay, welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. If you watch my show, you're in my corner. Today's the episode many of you have been waiting for a long time. My pre-fight show for UFC 202. Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz at 170 pounds. And, you know, as a Conor fan, I just want to see him defend his belt against Aldo and take out that interim title from Aldo. But, we got some unfinished business here at 170 for Conor McGregor. He wants to rematch Nate Diaz, redeem himself after the loss to Nate Diaz the first go-around. So this is the rematch everyone's been waiting for, and yeah, I'll enjoy this ride too, why not? Okay, so there's a pre-fight show, the main card. Let's get started. The main event is a welterweight clash with Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz, as many of you know, won Season 5 of The Ultimate Fighter and has had some big matches throughout his career since then. And Conor McGregor, he was the interim featherweight champion in the UFC after taking out Chad Money Mendez. Then he beat Jose Aldo in a record-setting 13 seconds to unify the UFC featherweight titles and walk away undisputed champ. Meanwhile, he had this fight against Nate Diaz, and then they had an interim belt, which Aldo won recently at UFC 200. So, after this fight, and you know, we're going to see McGregor versus Aldo too. Yeah, and there you have it. That's the kind of backstory for this fight. And my prediction is Conor McGregor, first round knockout. I'm being ballsy here by saying this, but I think that he's hungry for this win. And Nate Diaz, he tries to he tries to bum rush quick, and I think the footwork and speed and accurate striking of Conor McGregor does a lot of damage, and I say towards the tail end of the first round, Conor McGregor gets it done. Now, Conor McGregor is picking himself to win in the second round by knockout. I am unsure. I mean, I think Conor's best chance at winning is the first or second round, but yeah, nonetheless, I think Conor worked on his cardio since then. I think that's what really killed it from the first go-round is the cardio. I think he's worked on the cardio since then, and he's more acclimated for 170 pounds now at this point. He's trained harder for this fight than the last one, and I think he will get it done, first round knockout over Nate Diaz. I like Nate Diaz too, don't get me wrong. Big fan of the Diaz brothers, Nick Diaz, Nate Diaz, and the whole faction we got with Gilbert Melendez. And Jake Shields, he's okay, you know, but I really like Gilbert Melendez. And yeah, so I'm picking Conor to win nonetheless. Anyways, in the co-main event in the light heavyweight division, we have Glover Teixeira versus Anthony Rumble Johnson. Now, the winner of this fight will get a title shot at 205 in theory, from the look of it, because John Jones is kind of on the back burner right now, and so they're probably going to get Daniel Cormier, and then just kind of wait for Jones to come back, and then the winner of this fight versus Cormier will face John Jones in theory. That's the way things are looking, it seems like. Then, okay, so I think that Glover has great takedown defense. I think his striking defense is pretty good. And I think Glover actually gets it done first round knockout here. I know a lot of people that are probably going to pick Anthony Rumble Johnson because, you know, he's sort of looked at as a man right now outside of the title, you know, outside of Daniel Cormier and John Jones. Anthony Johnson's like the guy that could beat everyone in theory, but the two champs in the weight class right now. But I think people are underestimating Glover Teixeira. I think that he's boxed for so long that he's going to pick his shots and have decent head movement. And Rumble Johnson may try to take him down, but Glover's takedown defense will hold up in the first round. And then that'll be just enough for Glover to work the clinch strikes and rock Rumble Johnson and eventually knock him out. So I'm picking Glover Teixeira first round knockout. Then in the welterweight division we have Rick Story versus Donald Cerrone. Donald Cerrone, great Muay Thai, enough said. He gets it done first round over Rick Story. Now Rick Story, he's a tough, durable veteran, but I think if anyone can finish Rick Story in the first round, it's Donald Cerrone. Donald Cerrone has shown that the way, when you look at the way he finished Jim Miller, when he fought Jim Miller, I mean, I see this fight being similar to that. I think he gets it done in the first round, not by submission, but by knockout. But I do think that if he rocks Rick Story enough and sees an opening for a submission, he will go for it. So this is a coin toss with submission or knockout, but I'll go with knockout on this one. Then also on the welterweight division, we have Hung-Gyu Lim versus Mike Perry. I pick Lim by unanimous decision. I think Lim is just overall better, more well-rounded, and I think he gets it done by decision. And then we have Tim Means versus Sabah Homasi. Sabah Homasi is making his UFC debut coming from Titan FC, which you can watch exclusively on UFC Fight Pass. And Tim Means, he's a knockout artist. This guy can finish fights. So I think his experience in the UFC and his striking will come in play here. And I think Tim Means gets it done. Yeah, I picked first round knockout as well on this one. So there you have it. There's my pre-fight show for UFC 202. Stay tuned in the coming days for my post-fight show of UFC 202. Until then, see ya, and I just hope that this pay-per-view is amazing. I just, there's a lot of hype on this, and I hope it lives up. So yeah, there you have it. Till then, see ya.